Imagine stepping out into a freezing winter storm wearing a thick, chunky knitted sweater. It might look warm, but the second the wind hits you, the icy air cuts right through the wool. Most modern homes are built wearing nothing but a sweater. We pack the roof full of fluffy insulation and assume that's enough. But without a complete system to protect it, your house is essentially standing in the wind with its coat unzipped. To understand why, we have to look at the stack effect. In a standard home, the expensive heat you're paying for is naturally rising. It slips right through the ceiling and fills the cold attic space above, wasting energy and creating a dangerous temperature imbalance. That escaping heat warms the roof from the inside, melting the snow sitting on top of your house. As that water runs down to the cold edges of the roof, it refreezes into heavy blocks of ice, called ice dams, that can rot your wood and tear off your gutters. To stop this cycle, we have to treat the roof like a high-performance winter suit. Your house needs a windbreaker to stop drafts, a sweater to hold the heat, a raincoat to stop the storms, and the ability to breathe. Let's head up into the raw, unfinished attic. Before we even think about insulation, we need to install the windbreaker, and that happens right on the attic floor. We call this the Great Air Leak. Every single wire, plumbing pipe, and wooden wall frame that pokes up into the ceiling is a tiny hole. These gaps act like chimneys, pulling your heated air right out of the rooms below. The professional fix happens before a single piece of insulation goes in. Builders use expanding foam to perfectly seal the tops of every interior wall frame and plug the gaps around every wire or pipe penetration. Lighting is another major leak. Standard lights are like open holes in your ceiling. You need airtight fixtures labeled insulation contact. These are specifically designed to be safely buried under your insulation without overheating, and they use rubber gaskets to clamp tightly against a drywall to stop air from escaping. Once the windbreaker is zipped up, it's time for the sweater. A lot of builders use standard fiberglass bats for insulation, but air moves right through those fibers, the same way wind cuts through a knitted wool sweater. An overbuilt home uses blown-in cellulose. This is dense, fire-treated material that is sprayed over the attic floor, filling in every tiny crevice and burying those sealed wall tops under 20 inches of heavy coverage to reach a high R60 energy rating. With the foam windbreaker and the cellulose sweater working together, the heat is finally trapped down in your living room. But up here in the attic, our job is only half done. To prevent ice dams, we have to follow one counterintuitive rule. The attic space itself must be exactly as cold as the freezing air outside. That requires breathability. All that thick insulation we just added can't be allowed to block the fresh air trying to enter from the roof's lower edges. We use a baffle to create an uninterrupted channel between the roof wood and the insulation. These channels must be installed in every rafter bay. This allows cold outside air to flow freely into the attic, keeping the roof deck freezing so snow never melts. Finally, we move outside to the roof deck for the raincoat. Shingles aren't actually waterproof. They're more like an umbrella. They shed water well, but in a severe storm, wind and pressure can drive water right under them. Standard building codes only require a narrow 3-foot strip of waterproof membrane at the very bottom edge of the roof, leaving the rest of the wood vulnerable if water gets under the shingles. The overbuilt approach is to cover every square inch of the roof wood in a self-adhered, rubberized membrane, like ice and water shield. This creates a seamless, secondary waterproof layer beneath your shingles. With this full raincoat applied, if a massive storm rips away a section of shingles, the wood beneath stays dry, and your home remains protected. The system is now complete. The foam windbreaker stops the drafts. The cellulose sweater retains the heat, the baffles keep the roof cold, and the rubber membrane raincoat stops the storms. You can prove this is working using a house-wide pressure test. A giant fan is sealed into a doorway to suck air out of the home, which creates a vacuum that pulls outside air through any hidden leaks. If you hold a smoke pencil near a ceiling light and the smoke is sucked rapidly upward, you know it isn't sealed. When you talk to your builder, ask them 2 questions. Are you planning to air seal the tops of every wall frame with foam? And are we doing full deck waterproof membrane coverage or just the 3-foot minimum? If they tell you full deck coverage is a waste of money because shingles do the work, keep in mind that shingles are water shedding, not waterproofing. In a real winter, water will eventually find its way under them. If this breakdown helped you understand your home a little better, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to help us grow. We'll see you on the next build.